Stadium in Beloit, Kansas for the 10th annual Kansas 8-Man All-Star Football Game. Hi everyone, I'm Jerry Jones. I'll be doing the play-by-play for today's showdown between the East and the West All-Stars. And as we watch the squads go through their pregame warm-up drills, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the Kansas 8-Man Football Association, the Beloit Rotary Club, and the Beloit Knights of Columbus for sponsoring this outstanding sporting event. This gives the seniors that are playing the 8-man game the exposure and recognition which they so very much deserve. To all the people involved in making this game a reality, I want to say congratulations on a job well done. To the outstanding players and coaches of both all-star teams, I'd like to express our sincere appreciation for their considerable efforts as well. Now it's time to meet the players and the coaches from both squads. First, the West All-Stars. Wearing number 2, Justin Rollins from Satanta High School. He stands at 6'2", 175, and plays quarterback. Jared Jackson, wearing number 7 from Kensington High School, a 5'10", 150-pound quarterback and defensive back. From Spearville High School, Greg Gobbin, wearing number 9 at 6 foot, 185, a tight end and a linebacker. Number 10 is Chance Solomon from Hanston High School, 6 foot, 165, a running back and defensive back. Buddy Probst from Perfection High School, wearing number 11, 5'8", 175, a quarterback and defensive back. From Mineola High School, number 12, Eric Cunningham, 5'11", 160, a quarterback. Number 13, Fred Riza from Rolla High School, 5'6", 165, and a halfback. Number 14, Tyson Flax from Ransom High School at 5'9", 210, a fullback and a middle linebacker. From Brewster High School, number 15 is Micah Sanderson at 6 foot, 185, a defensive lineman and linebacker. Stephen Davis, wearing number 19 from Coldwater High School, 6 foot, 200-pound linebacker. Number 20, Max Folk from Satanta High School, 5'11", 170, tailback and cornerback. John Novotny, number 21 from Skyline High School at 5'10", 175, a running back and defensive back. Wearing number 24, Dan Scott, Mineola Fowler High School, 5'10", 160, an end and defensive back. Juan Munoz, wearing number 32 from Deerfield High School at 5'9", 200 pounds, a fullback and defensive end. From Cheline High School, number 35, Travis Anholtz, 6'4", 210, a running back and defensive back. Number 40 is Jeff Hartz from Skyline High School, 6'2", 200-pound fullback and linebacker. Number 41, Ted Grubb from Quivira Heights, 6'4", 210, tight end. Number 42, Jim Brown from Ashland High School, 5'10", 185, a guard and defensive end. Paul Schreiber from Claflin High School, wearing number 44 at 6'1", 250, an end and linebacker. Number 55, Dylan Warden from Greeley County, 6'3", 200-pound linebacker. Troy May, wearing number 60 from Pretty Prairie, 6'1", 240, center and defensive lineman. Number 61, Jesse Mussman from Northern Valley at 6'5", 210, a defensive lineman. Number 62, Shane Harden from Ashland High School, 6'1", 195, a center and nose guard. From Pretty Prairie High School, wearing number 66, Jay Stuckey at 6'1", 185, and a tailback. Brandon Grauerholtz, wearing number 70 from West Smith County at 6'5", 218, a defensive end. Number 72, Ryan Riley from Greeley County at 6 foot, 223, a guard and defensive lineman. Number 74, Tom Gordon from Quivira Heights at 6 foot, 220 pounds, an offensive lineman and defensive lineman. And finally, number 79, Bryce Boyle from Caldwell at 6 foot, 250-pound defensive tackle. The coaching staff, head coach is Leighton Nance from Pretty Prairie. Assistant coaches include Carlos Zamero from Coldwater, John McLean from Brewster, and John Palin from Quivira Heights. We had the chance to talk with West head coach Leighton Nance as his squad was warming up and asked what he might expect from today's game.
Guys have come up here and on both sides they've worked really hard this week, and they're gonna come out and show what they got. There's gonna be a lot of hard hitting, a lot of good runs, a lot of good passes thrown. We're gonna try to establish a good running game first of all. I think it can happen if we get it cranked up.
And now for the East squad, wearing number 2, Luke Buting from Center High School, a 6'6", 195-pound end. 3, Jamie Smith, a 6'3", 185-pound quarterback and defensive end. Corey Grostidier, wearing number defensive back. Number 5, Jesse Best from Hope High School at 6'2", 185, a running back and linebacker. Number 7 is Jess Herbig from Peabody Burns for a 5'9", 155-pound quarterback and defensive back. Wearing number 10, Brent Cunningham from Okata East High School, a 6'2", 175-pound defensive back. Matt Whitmer from Crest High School, wearing number 12, a 5'10", 175-pound quarterback and defensive back. Number 14 is Doug Scribner from Flint Hills High School at 5'10", 180, quarterback and a linebacker. Number 15, Travis Schaff from Bennington High School at 5'11", 205. He's a specialist at kicker and an end. Also from Bennington High School, wearing number 20, Kai Boss at 5'11", 205. He's a fullback. John Van Royen from Dexter High School, wearing number 22, 5'7", 130-pound running back and cornerback. Number 24, Brian Pegenkopf from Center High School, 5'8", 160, a halfback. Kevin Stratman from Axtell High School, wearing number 25, 6'2", 170-pound quarterback. Number 27, Justin Boots from Crest High School at 6', 190, a tailback and defensive end. Number 29, Doug Stroda from Hope High School at 6', 180-pound and a defensive lineman. Number 31, Joe Rottinghaus from Axtell High School, 5'11", 175-pound fullback and linebacker. Number 32, Ken Lloyd from Wakefield High School, a 5'8", 160-pound end. Chris Gertis from Attica High School, wearing number 34, a 5'8", 160-pound running back and linebacker. Number 35 is Joshua Ward from Lucas Luray High School at 6'2", 185 and a linebacker. From Midway Denton High School, number 42, John Mowry, 5'7", 165, a fullback and tailback. Thomas Sparback from Trinity High School, wearing number 44, is 6', 210, a linebacker and defensive tackle. Number 51, Stephen Benny from Pike Valley, a 5'9", 245-pound nose guard. Aaron Inyard from Mankato High School, number 54, a 6', 230-pound guard and defensive end. Ray Stubby, wearing number 71 from Burton High School, a 6', 235-pound center and linebacker. Number 76, Matt Skripczyk from Attica High School, a 6', 189-pound defensive lineman. Number 77 is Chris Becker from Mankato High School at 6'5", 240, an offensive lineman. Neil Larson from Tescott High School, wearing number 83 at 5'10", 165, and a cornerback. And finally, number 85, Michael Permort from Midway Denton, a 6'5", 190-pound defensive end. Head coach for the East All-Stars is Mark Fries from Mankato High School. Assistant coaches are Jeff Hostetter from Hope, Mitch Riggs from Chautauqua, and Lance Vanderveer from Attica. We asked Coach Fries what we could expect from the East All-Stars.
Hopefully our offensive line can block them off the ball and give our running backs a chance to show us some of their moves. We've got two all-state running backs, and hopefully we'll be able to get in their secondary and create some problems for them.
I'd like to thank Coach Fries and Coach Nance for taking the time to visit with us and wish both squads the best of luck in this afternoon's gridiron contest. And as we watch the co-captains down there shaking hands as we get ready for this afternoon's game. And this afternoon we're paying special tribute to Brian Ludwig, a former St. John's of Beloit High School player and coach. Let's listen to the public address announcer as he tells a portion of Brian's story as we see his parents awaiting the plaque presentation by Lindy Lindblad.
With the knowledge he had, he always aspired to learn more. Brian built a wealth of knowledge and passed that knowledge on to his students, both on and off the field. And his enthusiasm and wit were an inspiration. We went back to his alma mater, St. John's High School here in Beloit, to teach and coach the game he loved until his death in 1987. Brian is sadly missed, but in his honor, this game today will be played, and through this, his spirit lives on. Let us stand and applaud his parents, Mr. and Mrs. Max Ludwig, as they receive a plaque from Mr. Lindy Lindblad commemorating this event in Brian's honor.
Well, it's just moments away now from game time as we see the color guard from the Beloit VFW in place and ready for the playing of the national anthem by the All-Star Band. And I might mention that these band members were chosen from schools throughout Kansas that participate in the 8-man football extend our appreciation to the band members, as well as their director for their contribution to this 10th Annual All-Star Classic in honor of Brian Ludwig. Let's listen now to the All-Star Band as they play our national anthem. Again, thanks to All-Star Band for the playing of the national anthem, and also the VFW color guard that we see down there on the field now. But we're just about to kick off this commemorative football classic in honor of Brian Ludwig. And the storyline here for the week has been the heat wave that has gone on, and we're talking about extensive hot weather, but apparently there's been no problems from that, any kind of heat exhaustion or any kind of serious injuries that have taken place throughout the week, as both squads have been out here practicing and getting ready for this All-Star Classic. The trainer at Cloud County Community College over at Concordia, Steve Schrader, has been here throughout the week to work with both ball clubs, and talked about that the kids took plenty of fluids on throughout the week and really did not get into any problems. But with the temperature being 100-plus degrees, if we take a look at the fans up there, and they've got some umbrellas out, still pretty warm today for them, but really it's down in the 90s, so should be pretty nice both for the fans and especially for the players out there, because we know that we're going to see a lot of hot and heavy, hard hitting out there in this All-Star game, because these young people have put so much time in preparation to get themselves ready to play this ball game. Well, we watch the co-captains going out to the middle of the field now. They've already had the coin toss, but this simply is just a formality here that they'll show the crowd and also show us who will be receiving and who will be kicking off, as it appears that the West squad is going to receive the punt and the kickoff, and we'll see how they set it up here in just a moment. The head referee out there will show, yes, the West squad will receive, the East will kick off, and we'll get this commemorative classic underway here in just the next few moments here. The shake hands of the co-captains, and I'm sure that a lot of these players have had the opportunity to meet each other several times throughout the course of the season, and some of their conference games and also in their playoff games that ended their football season back in 1994. I would imagine a lot of these players would like to go on and play some college football, and today they want to show their talents. Teeing up the football right now to kick off for the East is number 15, Travis Shaft. He's from Bennington High School. Travis, 5'11", 205-pounder. He's a kicker and also an end. He will handle the kickoff and the punting chores today for the East squad. Take a look at some of the other players out there. Number 5 is Jesse Best. Number 7, Jesse Herbig from Peabody Burns. And also number 10, that's Brent Cunningham from Wakanda East High School. The referee will hand Travis Shaft the ball. He'll tee it up now. Back to receive for the West is number 13, Fred Reza. Fred Reza from Rolla High School, a 5'6", 165-pound halfback. And also number 20, Max Folk. He's from Satanta, 5'11", 170-pounder. And as soon as Travis gets the go-ahead, and here we go, and this classic is underway. There's a long, high kickoff down there, and it's going to be taken back there by Max Folk. And it'll be back into the end zone, a cutback, so they'll bring it out to the 15-yard line. And it'll be a 1st and 10 from there for the West squad with their first offensive possession. Quarterback for the West squad is number 2, Justin Rollins. And Justin Rollins is a 6'2", 175-pounder from Satanta. The running backs are number 35, Travis Anholtz, number 66, Jay Stuckey, and also Troy May. The handoff this time goes to number 45. That was Travis Anholtz, and he gets a 2-yard gain off that left side. The tackle there was made by number 14, Doug Schreiber, and also number 83, Neil Larson. So that was a pickup of 2 yards, brings down a 2nd down and 8 from the 17-yard line for the West squad. Rollins will set him down. High formation this time for the West. Calls the snap this time. He'll hand off to the first man through. That's Anholtz, and Anholtz has no gain. Matter of fact, it's a 1-yard loss there. He was stopped that time by number 51. That's Stephen Benny from Pike Valley High School, a 5'9", 245-pound nose guard. Tough little guy right there in the middle of the East defensive line. So that will set up a 3rd down now. 3rd down and 9. The ball on the 16-yard line. As Rollins sets him down, split back this time. He'll hand off to Jay Stuckey, and Stuckey gets around this right side over here for about 9 yards. Good run that time by Jay Stuckey. And gets out to the 25-yard line. He's pulled down out there by Jesse Best. Brings up a 4th down in inches, and you know, who knows? The West might go for it here. See what Leighton Nance has to say. Looks like he's running a play in there. He may just go for it here deep in his own territory on their own 25-yard line. So we see the I formation once again. Rollins counting the cadence. And, oh, there was movement in the line on the left side guard. And so that's going to be an illegal procedure. And yes, it is a little illegal procedure. We see the official sign from the referee there. It's going to cost them 5 yards. They'll bring up a 4th down and 5. They'll move it back to the 20-yard line. And that's going to bring up the situation for the West to punt it away. And doing the punting duties for the West is Jim Brown. He's from Ashland High School, the 5'10", 185-pounder. He stands back inside his 10-yard line at about the 7. Back to receive for the East is Brent Cunningham and also Ken Lloyd. Here's a nice spiral punt going down there, and it's going to be taken by Lloyd on the 23. Goes around to the right side, gets to the 30, up to the 35, dodges one tackle there, and then is drug out of bounds over there on the far side as he returned back to the 40-yard line. So it will be a 1st and 10 for the East with their first offensive possession. The ball will be on their own 40-yard line, right at midfield. So they have excellent field position to start off here with their opening possession. Quarterback for the East squad is number 10, Brent Cunningham. He's from Wakanda East High School. Again, the 6'2", 175-pounder. The running backs are Corey Grosdidier and Brian Pegenkop. And here's the handoff. We see the ground level shot. This time the handoff goes to Grosdidier, and he's tackled for just a 1-yard gain. He's drugged down there by number 44, Paul Schreiber. And Paul Schreiber is from Claflin High School, 6'1", 250 pounds. That will set up a 2nd down and 9. The ball is on the 39-yard line, so it was a 1-yard gain that time for the East. And again, the quarterback for the East squad, Matt Whitmer. And this time Whitmer drops back to throw, but Whitmer gets away from one tackle there and now throws it out here into the flat, but it's out of bounds. An incomplete pass as he was able to dodge the oncoming rush by the expected tackler there, Brandon Grauerholtz of West Smith County, a 6'5", 218-pound defensive end. So again, that will, with the incompletion, set up a 3rd down and 9. The ball will still be on the 39-yard line of the West squad, so just into their territory. As Whitmer brings the East squad to the line of scrimmage. Has the back split this time, and this time Whitmer drops back, wants to pass again, drops back there, lets it go, and it's a screen pass. And the screen pass is going to be complete to number 24, Brian Pickencop. He's the running back out of the backfield. but he was knocked down there by number 42, Jim Brown, and it's a loss of 4 yards on the play. A lot of people flooding through the line that time, so it will set up a 4th down and 14, so the East will have to kick it away, and again, Travis Schaff will be out there to put it away, and he's standing on his own 22-yard line. There's a snap, low snap. He gets a high, booming end-over-end punt, and it's taken back there
Number 11, fair catch.
at the 11-yard line by Buddy Probst. Buddy Probst for the West squad. He is out of Protection High School, a 5'8", 175-pounder. Ball is going to be back there on the 11-yard line. He had a fair catch, and so it'll be 1st and 10 for the West on their own 11. And a new quarterback in the lineup for the West squad is Eric Cunningham from Mineola, the 5'11", 160-pounder. So right away, Coach Leighton Nance makes a change there on the quarterback. This time the backs are split. And he will hand off to the halfback, but nothing there as the back, Riza, was hit for a 1-yard loss, and to make the tackle was number 20, Kai Boss. Kai Boss out of Bennington High School, 5'11", 205-pound. He's a fullback, but also playing linebacker there. And it's a loss of 1, so it'll set up a 2nd down and 11. The ball being on the 14-yard line of the West squad. And again, Cunningham for the backs this time in the I formation. Cunningham with the quarterback keeper now pitches out there to Travis Anholtz, and he gets around that left side. And it was number 42, John Mowry, making the tackle that time, knocking him out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So it was a gain of 18. It's an excellent run that time by Anholtz, but super job by the quarterback, Cunningham, and the option keeper out there to the short side of the field and holding it right to the last moment before he pitched it out. And, of course, that's what really allowed Anholtz to be sprung to the outside and, of course, pick up the additional yardage that he did. Again, 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line for the West squad. As, again, the backs are in the I formation. And Cunningham this time, and a broken play that time. Wanted to hand it off, but the broken play is going to turn into a bundle of yards as he picks up a good 12, 13 yards on the carry. The quarterback, after the broken play, and the quarterback keeper, he was pulled down that time by Travis Schaff and also John Mowry, but he got nearly 14 yards on that broken play carry up that short sideline. And it's another 1st and 10 for the West squad as the ball now is on the East 34-yard line. The quarterback, Cunningham, brings him to the line. Your backs are Anholtz and Riza. Backs in the I formation. Cunningham calls a cadence. Hands off to Riza. Riza knocked down there behind the line of scrimmage and will have a loss of 3 yards, but that entire play was set up by the nose guard for the East squad, and that's none other than Stephen Benny from Pike Valley, the 5'9", 245-pounder. He just stood up the center there in Troy May and pushed him right back into the backfield, and of course Riza ran right into the back and had the 3-yard loss. So it's now 2nd down and 13, the ball on the 37-yard line of the East squad. And again, your backs are Anholtz, Riza. This time they're split, and this time Cunningham will hand off to Anholtz, and Anholtz off that left side, the short side of the field. He's going to pick up some extra yardage over there. He gets about 6 yards on the carry as it brings up a 3rd down and 7.
Ball on 31 brings up a 3rd and 7.
And it is a 3rd and 7. The ball is on the 31-yard line of the East squad, and again, your quarterback is Eric Cunningham. The backs show the I formation this time. And Cunningham setting it up this time, fakes the handoff. Now the quarterback keeper gets around that left side, picks up additional yardage. Going to be knocked out of bounds over there inside the 25 at about the 23-yard line. And Cunningham getting enough yardage there for the 1st and 10. And it was Brent Cunningham and also Doug Schreiber that made the tackle that time. But a gain of 8 yards, and it's another 1st and 10 for the West squad as they get deeper into East territory. And the ground game really working right now for the West. 1st and 10 on the East 23. Backs are split this time. Again, well, it's Riza in there along with Jay Stuckey, number 66, Cunningham. Call it pitches out this time to Jay Stuckey going to the wide side of the field, but he's going to be stopped right there for a loss of 2 on the is there to make the stop. He was hit first by number 42, John Mowry, as it was a loss of 2 yards on the play back to the 25-yard line. Just an excellent defensive play that time by the left side of the East defensive squad. And the ball back on the 25, so it'll be 2nd down and 12 now for the West. As Cunningham sets him up in the I formation. Stuckey and Reza. And this time going to hand off to his second back through, and that's to Reza, and he's going to get about 2 yards. He'll get that 2 yards back that he lost. The guys involved in pushing him back there was Best, along with Kai Boss and John Mowry. And John Mowry's been involved in a lot of tackles so far, but just pushed him back there after that short 2-yard gain. Now it sets up a 3rd down and 10 for the West, as the ball is again on the 23-yard line of the East squad, and they need to negotiate the 10 yards here to keep this drive alive. Try to stick it into the end zone. Backs in the I formation. Cunningham this time wants to drop straight back to pass, but he slips there and then finally was sealed down to the ground by number 27, Justin Boots. Justin Boots made sure that he stayed down. Boots out of Crest High School, the 6-foot, 190-pounder. And it was a 6-yard loss. It'll bring up a 4th down and 16. The ball is on the 29-yard line at time. So the West is going to, looks like they're going to try for a field goal here. Either that or a punt, either one. But we'll see what happens. No, they show us the I formation once again. They're going for it here on 4th down. As Cunningham this time, and he hands off to out there to Anholtz. Anholtz off that left side, in between the guard and the tackle, doesn't get much out of it. And it's going to be turned over to the East squad as they stop Anholtz for a very, very short gain. And it was Kai Boss, the guy who made the tackle. So the East is going to take over on their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10 for the East squad. They'll get their second opportunity here on the offensive side of the ball. Your quarterback is Jamie Smith from St. Paul High School. One lone back this time with a wing back, and this time Jamie Smith off the quarterback keep, off the fake handoff, is going to get around that right side. They'll get up on the 30-yard line to about the 31, and it was a pickup of about 5 yards off the quarterback keeper. Made the fake to the lone back there. The stop was made that time by Stephen Davies along with number 7, Jared Jackson. So it was a pickup of 5, 2nd down and 5 for the East squad, as both these ball clubs getting a lot of people involved in their backfields right now. The quarterback is Jamie Smith, and in the backfield is number 34, Chris Gertis, and number 4, Corey Gross-Didier. Smith now up under center, calls the cadence. Backs are split. This time he'll hand off, and he'll hand off to Gross-Didier, as Gross-Didier out here on this left side, on the wide side of the field, makes an excellent run, picks up 10 yards on the carry, and he's drugged down out here by number 44, Paul Schreiber, and drugged down on about the 39-yard line. So it sets up a 1st and 10. Here's a replay of it as you see ground level. This time, nice run out here by Gross-Didier, makes a nice move, a juke and jive move out there on number 11. That was Buddy Probst from Protection High School, so just an excellent dodging move by Gross-Didier to get that 1st and 10. The 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line. Again, Smith has the back split this time. Calls the cadence, and he'll hand off to his first back through. That time he hands off to Brian Pickencott, and he's into the ball game again. And Pickencott gets a pickup of 9 yards on the carry, and he's brought down by number 7, Jared Jackson. So it took the defensive back to bring him back down that time. 2nd down and 1. An excellent pickup there of 9 yards. So now the East squad driving deep into West territory. That ball is resting on the 31-yard line. Your quarterback is Smith. Your running backs are Pickencott and Gross-Didier. As Smith this time under center with a back split. Now the option play out there and pitches out to Gross-Didier on that far sideline, and Gross-Didier picks up 5 yards out there off the option play. Boy, I tell you what an excellent job by Jamie Smith holding on to that ball to the very last moment. He made the great fake and then was going down just before, pitched it just before he went down. And a great pickup there of 5 yards, brought down by Micah Sanderson. So it's a 1st and 10 for the East squad. And now the ball is resting on the West 25-yard line. 1st and 10 for the East. And again, Smith is your quarterback. Gross-Didier The backs are split. He'll hand off to Gross-Didier again, right up the gut. And Gross-Didier is going to pick up about 3 yards, close to 4 on the carry. He's brought down by Jim Brown there, along with number 79, Bryce Boyle. And it was a pickup of 4, so now 2nd down and 6. The ball on the 21-yard line. The East squad driving and driving hard here. Well, the West is going to have to come up with a big defensive play or a turnover, one of the two. But the East now, they set it up with a split back. And Jamie Smith again calling the cadence. And this time he'll hand off to his first back to Gross-Didier. Gross-Didier around this left side. And there's tackle there. Whoop, the ball is loose, and now it's picked up by Tyson Flax. Tyson Flax, number 14, down this near sideline. And he's going to be tackled down inside of East territory. It didn't look like that he had the fumble, but the replay coming up here in just a moment. Let's take a look at it once again as we'll get the ground level view here and take a look. And here it is, coming right at you. Gross-Didier with the ball coming around this near side, and the ball looked like it was coming loose going down, but we're going to get even a closer look, and there it is coming out. And it was Bryce Boyle, the guy that made the pro-style tackle there, knocking the ball out as he was making the hit on Gross-Didier. But now it is a West ball deep in East territory, 1st and 10 on the East 26. Here's your quarterback, Justin Rollins, and again the handoff this time to Reza, and Reza gets about a yard on the carry that time off the left side. The tackle was made by number 29, Doug Stroda. 2nd down and 9 for the West. So what a big turnaround there for the West squad. Boy, I tell you what, that'll take the air right out of your sails, especially after the East was making such a fine drive and down deep in West territory. 2nd down and 9, ball on the 25 of the East, and the ball is loose on the ground, but Rollins picks it up, and he's going to be nailed right there. So it will be a loss of about 3 yards on the play. And there to make sure that he stayed down was number 42, John Mallory. And it will bring up a 3rd down and 12. It was a loss of 3 on the play. A 3rd down and 12. The ball is on the 28-yard line of the East squad. Again, your quarterback is Rollins. And the backs are in the I formation. Stuckey is in there as one of the running backs. This time Rollins, he's going to drop straight back, wants to pass. Now he lets it fly right down the middle of the field. It's complete. It's complete down there inside the 5. And a touchdown-saving tackle there was made that time by Jesse Best of Hope, the 6'2", 185-pounder. That was a beautiful pass down there in the flat, and a leaping grab that time by the tight end, Ted Grubb. So the West deep inside the 5-yard line. It's down to the 1-yard line. Actually, it'll be 1st and goal from there. So the West now with that turnover has a great opportunity to take the lead. 1st and goal on the 1-yard line. And Holtz and Stuckey the backs. And here is the handoff. But it's going to be stopped. Is there a fumble on the play? Yes, there is a fumble on the play, and the East is going to take over. So both squads with great opportunities to score have now been thwarted by the turnover. There's a fumble right there off the replay. You see it on the ground and coming up with the fumble down there. As we take a look at the guy on the bottom of the pile, was number 15. That was Travis Schaff. He's the guy that's in there that does the kicking duties and also plays defensive end. But a big turnover right there for the East squad because the West was just on the verge of getting the score. So the turnover has played a big part here for both ball clubs here in the early going of this ball game here in the first quarter. We're at the later stages of this first quarter action. Now the East squad is going to have the ball deep in their own territory. New quarterback in there, Stratman. Backs are split this time. They're going to hand off this time out there to Pegenkoff. He gets out here to the near side, and a big run that time by Pegenkoff as he broke a couple of tackles, and a 13-yard pickup out to the 15-yard line. The stop out there was made by Chance Salmons, so that will set up a 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line. Your quarterback is Kevin Strathman from Axtell. Your running backs are Chris Gertis and Corey Gross-Didier. And it will be the lone back in Chris Gertis. Gross-Didier out here at the wing back. Strathman will hand off to Gertis going right up the gut off the left side there, and he gets about a yard out of the play. He's hauled down by number 19, Stephen Davis. And it will will bring up a 2nd down and 9 now. The ball out there on the 16-yard line. And now we see number 24, Peckincock, going back into the backfield for the E squad. And Gertis, he'll be out. So your 2 running backs in there now will be Peckincock and Gross-Didier. And your quarterback, Strathman. This time the backs are split back in the backfield as Strathman calls the cadence. And he'll hand off. This time he'll hand off to Gross-Didier. Gross-Didier drugged down there after a very short gain. Gets about a yard. He's hauled down by Brandon Grauerholtz. Ends up a 3rd down and 8 for Brandon Grauerholtz, the big guy out of West Smith County, 6'5", 218-pound defensive end. What a load there to take a look at on the defensive side. And now coming in, number 32, Ken Lloyd goes in with the play. Travis Schaff, he'll be out of the game right now. 3rd down and 8, ball on the 17-yard line as Strathman sets him down. Backs are split. Okay, Strathman takes a snap, and he's hit there, and then pitches out, tries to get it out there after the backs were tangled up in the backfield, and it was almost a fumble back there as the guy who came in to disrupt that entire play was big number 44, Paul Schreiber, the 6'1", 250-pound defensive end. We see the replay there and saw that he came in untouched, unblocked, and really put a hit on Strathman, of course, caused the errant pitch out. It brings up a 4th down now for the East squad as back to punt is Travis Schaff, and a low snap gets it away and over in boot, and it's going to be out of bounds there right about the 37-yard line of the East squad. So a relatively short kick that time for Travis Schaff, and it will set up a 1st and 10, ball on the East 37-yard line. The West has excellent field position now as they will start off this offensive series in the East, on the east side of the field, with your quarterback Gary Cunningham, and also your backs in there is Reza. And this time they pitch out to Reese off that left side, and Reese out there is going to not get a gain at all. Matter of fact, he's knocked down for no gain by number 14. Doug Schreiber is the guy that came in there to make the tackle. The 5'10", 180-pound linebacker came across there, made a nice read on the play as Reese tried to get to the outside. And no gain will set up a 2nd down and 10 for the West. And again, the ball placed on the 37-yard line. Your running backs now are Jay Stuckey along with Travis Anholtz. And your quarterback Cunningham, the backs in the I formation. Cunningham this time broken play, trying to hand off there, and had to take it right back up the middle, and off the broken play, the quarterback Cunningham picked up a good 2 yards, getting to the 35-yard line. He's brought down there by number 27, Justin Boots. So that sets up 3rd down and 8, and that's the end of our first quarter of play here in this All-Star Classic. And both ball clubs could not get it into the end zone. They had some excellent opportunities and were thwarted both times by turnovers and fumbles in particular that caused some problems, along with some excellent defensive play throughout that first quarter. So 0-0 score here after 1 quarter. As we take a look at the crowd and enjoying our contest here this afternoon. And now going into second quarter action. Again, the West will have the ball. Have a 3rd down and 8 on the East 35-yard line. So this will be the first play of the second quarter. And again, your West squad with the football. Right now, Cunningham up under center. And drops back now. Looks like he wants to pass. Rolls out there, being pressured, and throws downfield. Oh, it's intercepted. Jesse Best comes up with a big interception there downfield. And it will be the East taking over. After Best made the interception, the pressuring was done by number 27, Justin Boots. He really put some hot and heavy pressure on Cunningham, as the intended receiver downfield was the tight end, Ted Grubb. So now we start off the second quarter with a turnover once again, and the East will take over now. The ball on their own 30-yard line, 1st and 10 from there. And again, we'll see a new quarterback into the lineup, one that's been there before, Matt Whitmer. And Matt Whitmer from Crest High School, the 5'10", 175-pounder. The running backs in a split formation this time. He'll hand off to Gross-Didier. Gross-Didier gets about 2 yards out of it as he gets upfield there, stopped by number 9, Craig Gobbin, and also number 21, John Novotny. So good stop there by those two guys that we've not talked too much about so far here in the contest. But anyway, 2-yard gain, 2nd down and 8 for the East, as Whitmer will set them down on the line of scrimmage. And calling cadence, here's Whitmer. Now Whitmer off the quarterback keeper, and he will lean forward and get some yardage out of it. He was tripped up there by number 9, Greg Gobbin. Again, Greg Gobbin into the lineup from Spearville High School, a 6 foot, 185-pound linebacker. And he gets across there to make the stop, and it will set up a 3rd down and 6, so it was a gain of 2 more yards. Matter of fact, it was just a matter of Whitmer just leaning forward and falling down, and sets up the 3rd down and 6 on the East 34-yard line. Have a wing back and a lone back this time, and Whitmer says timeout. He didn't like what he looked at across the line there for the play that he had called. Wants to talk it over with the coach, Mark Fries, the head coach for Mankato High School, as the defense confused him a little bit that time with the play that they had called. This time they'll possibly show a little different setup with the play that they had called, and maybe even come back with the same one, but just lining up the formation a little bit different. Your quarterback, Whitmer. Your backs are Gross Didier and Pagenkopf. All right, Whitmer sets them down with the lone back. Whitmer calling the cadence. He'll drop straight back, wants to pass, and no, the ends come in untouched. They're going to sack him back there around the 26-yard line. So he just had no chance at all to set up. That certainly looked like a pass play all the way, and he was sacked back there by Grauerholtz and also Gobbin. Untouched on the play, a loss of 8 yards, makes it 4th down and 14. So the East is going to have to punt it away, and it'll be Travis Shaft who'll be in there to punt.
Travis Shaft back to punt.
And back inside his 15-yard line at about the 13. Jared Jackson back for the West squad. Here's the punt. It's away. It's a high, booming punt, and downfield is taken down there by Jackson on his 21. Now makes a juke and jive move out there, but he's drugged down as he gets out to the 32 and hauled down by number 44, Thomas Farback. So now the West squad will have the offensive opportunity once again. You know, we've talked so much about the turnovers being a problem here for both squads, especially in the first quarter, and then starting off this second quarter. That's what happened to the West squad with the interception and some excellent defensive play, and we just watched that just a few moments ago. But it's 1st and 10, the ball on the 32 for the West, the I formation. And Rollins, your quarterback, he'll hand off to his second back through, and that is Travis Anholtz. Anholtz with a hard running, high step and move right up the gut, gets up to the 39, a pickup of 7 there. He is brought down by Travis Shaft and also Jesse Best. So your defensive backs there had to help make the stop that time. A gain of 7 will set up the 2nd down and 3 for the West.
2nd and 3.
Rollins, Stuckey, and Anholtz are your backfield for the West. Again, the ball resting on the 39-yard line. As they show the I formation again, there's the ground level view of the West squad, and Rollins counting the cadence, and this time he'll hand off to his second back through, and again it's Anholtz right up the gut, driving hard, keeps the legs turning. But coming up with a big step there is number 7, Jess Herbig, and along with number 14, Doug Schreiber, and they haul him to the ground. But it will be a 1st and 10 for the West squad there, as it was a pickup that time of 4 yards. And it sets up the ball on the 35-yard line, so it's a 1st and 10 for the West. Rollins will bring the West to the line of scrimmage here. Your running backs are Stuckey and Anholtz. Oh, the West now in excellent field position again. As Rollins has the backs in the I formation. He'll hand off to Stuckey, and Stuckey is just nailed right there at the line of scrimmage, and nailed for a yard loss, actually, by number 51, Stephen Benny. Let's take a little closer look at this on the replay. And here it is, as Stuckey just runs into a wall right there up front in the nose guard in the Pike Valley senior, the 245-pound, 5'9" nose guard, who really plays a tough position right there. Sets up a 2nd down and 11 on the 36-yard line for the West. Stuckey and Anholtz again, your backs in the I formation. formation. Rollins this time fakes. Now the keeper. Rollins off this left side picks up additional yardage. He'll get about 7 out of it, maybe 6. We'll see off the quarterback keeper as he was tripped up there by number 7, Jess Herbig. And again, with help by number 14, Doug Schreiber. But he did pick up some additional yardage there. Picked up actually 6 on the carry. And we'll set up a 3rd down and 5. The ball is down inside the 30 at the 29-yard line. 3rd down and 5. All right, your quarterback, again, will be Rollins. Your backs will be Stuckey and Anholtz. Backs in the I formation as Rollins calls the cadence. Takes a snap this time. Now the quarterback keeper, but he can't get away from the ongoing rush of Justin Boots, trying to get to the outside, and he's knocked out there for a loss. Knocked down back to the 37-yard line, but the official's going to move it forward back up to the 34. That's where the forward progress was stopped, so it will be a loss of 5 yards and sets up a 4th down and 9 for the West. And trying to decide here what they're going to do. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Again, Rollins still your quarterback, and the backs are Stuckey at Anholtz, the I formation. All right, Rollins calling the cadence. As he'll take the snap this time, he'll hand off, and he handed off there to Anholtz, but he was hit about the same time he got it. It's a fumble on the play, and the East squad comes up with a big turnover. But it was Neil Larson who came up with a stick about the same time the ball got there, and of course put the ball on the ground. And it was Jesse Betts to come up with the fumble recovery, and now the East will take over on the 38-yard line. So they have excellent field position here for another offensive possession. 1st and 10, the ball on the West 38-yard line. Jamie Smith is back in their quarterback, ground level view now. They've got the wing back out here to the wide side of the field. Backs are Grossettier and Pegenkopf, and there's the handoff to Pegenkopf. And he will get about 2 yards off that right side on the wide side of the field. The tackle that time was made by number 79, Bryce Boyle, as he pulled Pegenkopf down for just a short gain. 2nd down and 8 now as the ball getting close there. It's on the 36-yard line of the West. As Smith has the lone back, and Smith this time hands off to that lone back, and it goes to Kai Boss. Kai Boss in there has a running back from Bennington, and he goes right up the gut, gets about 3 yards, driving hard, right up the middle, and is hauled down by Greg Gavin, along with Jeff Hartz and Bryce Boyle. All 3 of those guys involved. Here's the handoff once again to Kai Boss, and going right back up the gut again off that 3rd and 5 play. And with a 3-yard pickup, and a tough 3 yards it was, it's still going to be short of the 1st and 10. You just run into a mob of West defensive players there, led by Bryce Boyle. 4th down and 2 from the 30, and the East is going for it. Quarterback is Smith. He calls timeout, and he didn't like what he saw there on the defensive side. Kai Boss again was the lone back that time. That may be what we'll see again. As everybody's taking on a little water right now. Again, temperatures up in the mid-90s here this afternoon, but not quite as hot as it has been all week long in their preparation for this All-Star Classic. Oh, everybody's got the cool drink on board, and now we're going to get back to live action here. Again, your quarterback is Smith, and it is Kai Boss back there, the lone back. 4th down and 2. And there's movement on this right side over here, and I believe it's going to be an illegal motion. Look like an offensive lineman over here on the right side that moved. Illegal procedure will cost them 5 yards, and that is the indication we get from the referee. It'll bring up a 4th down and 7. It will also bring on Travis Shaft, and he'll be punting once again for the East squad. And it is just those kind of mistakes that cause problems when you think you have an opportunity to make a big play happen and to get the momentum on your side. We still have no score in the contest here, and we're about midway into this 2nd quarter. Travis Shaft back to punt. And back for the West is Jared Jackson. He does get the punt away. It's a high, booming punt down there. Taking it is Jackson. It's a fair catch just outside the 5-yard line at about the 7. And that's where the West will take over on their, well, we'll call it the 6.5-yard line, 1st and 10. And the quarterback we see coming out there on the field for the West will be Eric Cunningham. His backs will be Fred Riza, along with Jay Stuckey. So now the West will take over again for an offensive possession here deep in their own territory. They could ill afford to have a turnover down here. All right, Cunningham sets them down. The backs are split this time. Cunningham calls the cadence. This time he'll hand off over there to Riza. Riza goes, dashes around the right side, breaks a couple tackles. He's in the open to the 25, to the 30, to midfield, and Riza is going to be gone. He'll go all the way. Touchdown for the West. A 73-yard dash that time by Fred Riza. Got some good blocking out there on that short side of the field, and Fred Riza got into the open, and nobody was going to catch him after that. It looked like that the defensive backs were in tight that time, trying to shut off anything up the middle. But just an excellent run that time by Riza as he got the 73-yard touchdown. And we're going to get the point after touchdown attempt here in just a moment. And usually in 8-man football, we see them go for the 2-point conversion, and that's exactly what will happen. All right, your running backs are Anholtz and Stuckey. Again, Cunningham sets them down there right on the 3-yard line. Calls the cadence, and he'll pitch out. Goes to Anholtz. Anholtz around that right side. It's going to be knocked down just short of the goal line. A great defensive play out there by number 7, Jess Herdig. And the 2-point conversion fails, but yet the West squad has erased the goose egg off the scoreboard and now leads 6-0 midway through this second quarter. Just an outstanding run by Fred Riza, got them into the end zone, but then the defensive play foiled the 2-point conversion. But again, the West on top, 6-0, and the West now will kick off. And to do the kickoff duties for the West squad will be Fred Riza, the 5'6", 165-pounder who just scored the touchdown. And as we look back there for the East squad, it will be Joe Rottinghouse who will be back deep for the East. And Riza tees it up here. So again, the West drawing first blood here in this All-Star Classic. As Riza waits the okay from the referee to approach and kick it off, and here we go. And low line drive kind of kick. It's going to be taken there by Rottinghouse at the 30.
Ball picked up by number 31 on the kickoff.
About the 28-yard line is where he'll get to. He took it about the 25, and he returned it to the 28. So a very short return that time
from the 27-yard
for
line.
the East squad, and they will take over on their own 28, 1st and 10. Matt Whitmer is still your quarterback. Your running backs will be Grosdidier and Piggenkopf. As we take a look at big number 44 there, Paul Schreiber is defensive end on this left side for the West squad. Backs are split. Whitmer calls the cadence, this time off the quarterback keeper, and to this wide side of the field. He's going to be stopped there for just a short gain, about 2 yards. And there to make the stop was Novotny along with Paul Schreiber, your defensive end. And so we'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 for the East. Ball resting on the 30-yard line. And we don't see any changes in the backfield, so it's going to be the same quarterback in Whitmer and Piggenkopf and Grosdidier. We've seen a lot of changes throughout the afternoon. We see the lone back now with the wing back out here to the wide side of the field. Whitmer this time will hand off to his first back through. And excellent run that time by Piggenkopf as he got the ball and just slashed through there for 6 yards, and he's pulled down by Jared Jackson. Picking up some good yardage there. We'll set up a 3rd down and 2 for the East. Ball on the 36-yard line. Just a nice slashing run that time by Piggenkopf, as he and Grosdidier still make up the backfield back there. Lone back again. Wing back here to the wide side of the field. Whitmer will hand off again to Piggenkopf, and he's dragging people with him, and he may have enough for the 1st and 10. We'll wait and see. He gets out close to the 38-yard line, and he just might have enough. We'll see if the official gives us the indication. And yes, he did. He got just enough for the 1st and 10 out there at the 38-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the East. They've negotiated enough there off the nice run by Pegenkoff and kept this drive alive. So they're going to stay with the same backfield with Whitmer and Gross-Didier and Pegenkoff. And this time they show us a back split back there behind Whitmer. And Whitmer, he'll hand off this time to Gross-Didier off that left side. A big run out there, gets to the 30, to the 35, down to the 20, and is knocked out of bounds down there by 21. Just pushes him out of bounds about the 15-yard line. A 27-yard dash that time by Corey Gross-Didier. So the East with some good blocks out there and a nice run that time by Gross-Didier has got an excellent opportunity here to get on the scoreboard. 1st and 10, the ball on the West 15-yard line. And now Chris Gertis comes in there to be in the backfield with Corey Gross-Didier, along with Whitmer, your quarterback. Backs are split. Ball on the 15-yard line. Whitmer calls the cadence. This time going to hand off to Gertis, and Gertis getting about 3 yards out of that. Gets down close to the 12-yard line. A tackle that time made by Micah Sanderson, along with Dylan Warden from Greeley County, the 6'3", 200-pounder. It'll set up a 2nd down and 7. And also now coming back into the lineup is Brian Pegenkoff, as he'll be in the backfield for the East squad. 2nd down and 7, the ball on the 12-yard line. Now they've gone with Whitmer and Pegenkoff, and Gertis as Gross-Didier is out of there. And the backs are split extra wide this time. In motion goes Gertis. Handoff will go to Pegenkoff, and Pegenkoff going right back up the gut, and he's going to be stopped for a 2-yard gain. There to make the stop is John Novotny, number 21.
Tackle again made by
Novotny from Skyline High School, the 5'10", 175-pound defensive back comes slicing through there to make that stop.
3rd and 6 from the 10-yard line.
3rd down and 5 now for the East, as the ball is right on top of the 10-yard line. So 10 yards away from pay dirt for the East squad. Again, the backs are split extra wide. In motion again goes to Gertis. They're to the short side of the field, and they're going to hand off to, no, they don't. Whitmer with a keeper. Whitmer with a keeper that time is smothered for a 2-yard loss back there. It was Paul Schreiber, your defensive end, that came in there to make the stop and just completely smothered the quarterback Whitmer. And we'll set up a 4th down and 7 from the 12-yard line.
From about the 12-yard line.
So it seems as though that the East having all kinds of problems when they get down there inside close to pay dirt, and most commonly referred to as the red zone. All right, they're going to go for it, though. They show the I formation this time. 4th down and 7, ball on the 12. And they need to get inside the 5-yard line for the first down. They pitch out to the Gross-Didier. Now he wants to pass. He gets away from the rush. Now goes around the left side. He gets inside the 10-yard line. He's going to get down close to the 5, but I believe he's going to be stopped short of the 1st and 10. Boy, it was just some excellent moves that time by Gross-Didier, trying to get away from all the rush and then get the 1st and 10, but he just come up just a little bit short and stopped right about the 5.5-yard line. The stop was made by Jackson and Hartz and also Jim Brown out there for the West. And so the West will take over, and they have that 6-0 lead. And the East squad loses yet another scoring opportunity. And the West will take over deep in their own territory on the 5.5. Your quarterback is Justin Rollins. Your backs are Stuckey and Anholtz in the I formation. Here goes the handoff to the first back through, and that is Stuckey. And Stuckey will pick up about 4 yards. You know, he's the fullback type, and that's just where he runs out of that I formation and keeps those powerful legs churning. He's tackled there by Travis Schaff, number 15, along with Stephen Benny, number 51. And it will bring up a 2nd down and 6. But, you know, down inside the gut there, and he picks up 4 tough yards right there. And you know that the defense is going to stack it in the middle. So he does a good job in, you know, pushing the defenders back even after he's been hit and tackled. Here's the I formation once again. Rollins, Stuckey, and Anholtz in the backfield. Here they're going to hand off again to Stuckey, and he's going to pick up a couple more yards now. This time Stephen Benny out there will make the tackle all alone. Brings up a 3rd down and 4. West just playing pretty safe down there deep in their own territory. Don't want to do anything that would create a turnover and cause them not to have another scoring opportunity. We see Fred Reese check into the offensive backfield now. He wears number 13 along with Ann Holtz, and again Rollins is your quarterback. So as Rollins brings him there to the line of scrimmage right on the 12-yard line, we're looking at a 3rd and 4. Backs are split this time. Rollins this time, he will hand off to Reza. Reza dashing right up the middle, and Reza with an excellent run there gets up to the 19, a gain of 7 yards. For some good cross-blocking going on inside that offensive line. And Reza picks up enough for the 1st and 10. He was hauled down there by Jesse Best, number 5, along with John Mowry, wearing number 42 for the East squad. So it is a 1st and 10. Right now, the West squad able to use just about all the plays that they have in their playbook, as they've gotten out there to near the 20-yard line, right on the 19. Rollins along with Reza and Anholtz in the backfield, the I formation. And Anholtz, your ball carrier this time, breaks a couple of tackles. He gets to the open to the 30, to the 35. Downfield, he may go all the way. 61 yards, and Travis Anholtz, touchdown for the West. Wow. Check out the replay here, because Travis Anholtz broke some big tackles, and man, when he got out there in the open, he stretched them big long legs out. Here's your replay. There's one tackle, there's the other one, and now gets out there in the open, and when he stretches them long legs out, he's not about to be caught. And a 61-yard romp that time for Travis Anholtz, and another touchdown for the West. It's 12-0. And we've got just about a minute to go here in this first half. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion. Backs in the I formation. Back there it is Reza, along with Stuckey. They're going to hand off to Reza. Reza gets into the end zone, and he's going to have it. He will complete the 2-point conversion, and the West now will take a 14-0 lead over the East. So it's been 2 big plays for the West that have really brought about the scoring that they have so far here in this ball game. 14-0, and it's been 2 long runs, a 73-yard dash by Reza, and now a 61-yard run by Travis Anholtz. And other than that, we've seen a lot of turnovers, and we've seen some excellent defensive play, but the big play for the West squad has been the answer here in this first half with their 14-0 lead. Now Reza will tee it up to kick off here for the West. And back deep for the East squad is Ken Lloyd. And here's Reza. He approaches the football. Ground level view. Here's over in boot. It's taken back there by Lloyd as he takes it on the 3-yard line. Comes right back up the middle. Dashes by a couple of guys there. Gets back to the 21-yard line. He's stopped by Tyson Flax. And getting out there to the 21-yard line will set up the 1st and 10 for the East squad. As they'll have another offensive possession, but again, we're close to the end of our first half of play here. Your quarterback is number 25, Kevin Strathman, along with Brian Pegenkoff and Corey Grostidier in the backfield. As we see Strathman come in there now. And you'd have to think that the East squad will probably take some chances here to try to get something going here in these last waning moments of this first half. One lone back. Strathman back to pass now as he gets away from one rusher by Gobbin. Now lets it fly downfield, a wobbly pass, but it was caught out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. It was caught by number 2, Luke Uding. And Luke Uding, who is the end out there, the 6'6", 195-pounder, made the grab, but he was out of bounds. So it goes for naught. They'll bring it back to the 21-yard line, and it'll set up a 2nd down and 10. For the East squad, and again, it's a 14-0 lead for the West here in the late going of this first half. Backs are split now. Twin backs back there. Strathman, he drops back, wants to pass. Strathman is rushed and had to throw it away quick. He was really pressured back there, again by the 2 defensive ends. Number 9, Craig Gobbin, and also number 70, Brandon Grauerholtz, as they just made some excellent defensive rushes there, really were unblocked, and came in and created the incomplete pass. It'll set up a 3rd down and 10 from the East 21-yard line. And time is running out here in this first half as the East squad comes to the line of scrimmage. Again, Strathman along with Pegankopf and Gross Didier in your backfield. They have the wing back out here. That's Gross Didier. Now the handoff there goes to Pegankopf. He gets out here to this near side of the field. And a nice run that time by Pegankopf as he's run out of bounds at the 31-yard line. And it may be enough for a 1st and 10 as he does get up beyond the 31 and knocked out of bounds there by Jared Jackson. And that is enough for the 1st and 10. There's only about 20 seconds left here in this first half. The ball will be placed on the 31-yard line. 1st and 10 for the East. Again, the wing back out here to the near side of the field. The lone back there is Pegankopf. They'll hand off again to Pegankopf. Pegankopf 5, 10, and almost 11 yards on the carry. So he's going to pick up. I think he's going to have enough for another 1st and 10 as they call the timeout to check it out to see if he has it. Yes, he picked up 11 yards on that carry. He was stopped out there by number 11, Buddy Probst. And so it will be a 1st and 10. The ball out there is placed on the 33-yard line of the West squad. The lone back again, and here's the handoff, but he's going to be stopped right there. There to make the stop is Paul Schreiber. It's a loss of 2 yards as Strathman was trying to hand off to Pegankopf, and he was just nailed right there as Schreiber was right there at the same time as the handoff. But it's of no consequence as the last few seconds tick off the clock, and that's the end of the first half with the West leading the East 14-0. All the scoring came in the latter part of the second quarter off of 2 big offensive plays for the West. First was a 73-yard touchdown run by Fred Ariza, followed up a little bit later by a 61-yard touchdown run by Travis Anholz. Conversion failed on the first touchdown, but then Ariza punched it into the end zone for the extra 2 after Anholz's touchdown. The East had several scoring opportunities, but were unable to move the ball inside the 10-yard line. So that's how it stands at halftime, with the West leading the East 14-0. Now let's take a look at the halftime stats as the East leads there in first downs with 6 compared to 5 for the West. But rushing yards in favor of the West with 203 yards on the ground compared to 107 for the East squad. Passing yards, only 27 for the West and a -4 for the East. The passes, completions, attempts, and interceptions. The West, 1 completion off of 2 attempts and 1 interception. And the East had 1 completion off of 4 attempts, but no interceptions there. Penalties were equal, 1 penalty each for 5 yards. Fumbles, the East had 2 fumbles. They lost 1. The West with 3, and they lost 2 of those. Total offense, the East with 103 yards, and the West dominating with 230. Well, now it's time for the halftime show and some entertainment as we go down on the field and have the Wakanda East Girls Drill Team, directed by Carl Fitzgerald, band instructor at Wakanda East High School. Another great performance halftime entertainment show by the Wakanda East Girls. Entertainment show by the Wakanda East Girls Drill Team. Earlier today, we had the opportunity to visit with Lindy Lindblad, who has been involved with the All-Star game since its inception, and we asked Lindy for his thoughts on today's game.
Well, hopefully not too much rain. It's
a lot cooler than it's been all week, and we look for a very exciting football game. I think I saw where we have 20 all-stars, 8-man all-stars, or I mean 8 men that have been recognized in the state as outstanding athletes in 8-man football. And so with those 20, 12 on one and 8 on the other side, we should have a lot of fireworks today. I can't tell you whether they're going to pass or run because I haven't talked that much to the coaches, but we're looking for a high-scoring, exciting ball game today.
Well, once again, we want to thank Lindy Lindblad for taking the time to visit with us this afternoon. But right now, it's time for our second half action as we see Fred Riza has the ball teed up for second half action. And the West ready to kick off here. Back deep for the East is number 32, Ken Lloyd, along with Chris Gertis, number 34. Riza approaches the ball, and the kick is off. It's a squib type of kick, and now fumbled down around the 5-yard line. They're picking it up. There was Gertis, and Gertis knocked down out there at about the 27-yard line, 28-yard line, actually. And Fred Riza was the guy who was on the stop. So it will be a 1st and 10 for the East. The ball will be on their own 28-yard line. We see Jamie Smith back in there now as the quarterback for the East squad, along with the backs, number 24, Pegenkopf, along with the Gross Didier, number 4. They set up shop here for their first offensive series. The lone back, the wing back here to the wide side of the field. In motion goes Gross Didier over to the short side. Smith, and handed off to the lone back going through there, and that was Pegenkopf. He carried the ball for about 4 yards right up the gut. But again, he was stopped there by the defense, Stephen Davis. Well, that short 4-yard gain sets up a second down and 6 now for the East squad. Ball is out on the 32-yard line now. So the same backs on this particular series, Gross Didier and Pegenkopf. Jamie Smith, again the wing back here to the wide side. Going in motion again is Gross Didier. Now Smith, now the quarterback keeper as Smith gets out here to the wide side. He's going to pick some extra yardage as he gets out near the 38-yard line. Is going to be awfully close to a 1st and 10. Buddy Probst and Jerry Jackson, the guys out there to knock him down and knock him out of bounds. It was a gain of nearly 6 yards. We'll see where they put it down. And I believe they're going to measure for the 1st and 10 here as the referees show us. Yes, they want to bring the chains across. And we'll take the measurement. A little bit too close to call from out there in the middle of the field. So they're going to bring it all the way across and measure it here on the near side, right in front of the East bench. Stretch the chain out good and far, and we'll see what they're just short. It looks like about a half a yard. So it is a gain of 5.5. It'll set up a 3rd down and a short 1. The ball is actually on the 37-yard line where they're putting it down. But 3rd and a short 1. As they get everything lined up back there on the far side with the chain gang. And your back still the same. Smith's your quarterback, Gross Didier and Pegenkopf. And again, the wing back out here. As the ball is really right in the middle of the field right now, but Gross Didier is still your wing back. The lone back there's Pegenkopf. Smith calls the cadence again. In motion is Gross Didier. Going to that far side over there. Now the handoff will go to the back there. Pegenkopf takes 4 yards right up the gut, and he only needed just half a yard for the 1st and 10, so he's going to get it, and that'll move the chains on the far side. The ball is now out at the 39-yard line of the West squad. So that time Pegenkopf was brought down by number 19, Stephen Davis, and also Bryce Boyle. The East with a 1st and 10 on the West 39. In motion again, Gross Didier. Now Smith drops back, wants to pass, and he's going to be knocked down there, just hauled down by Brandon Grauerholtz. Got an arm around him, and actually just an arm tackle. But it was a big rush that time by Grauerholtz, along with Greg Gobbin. So it was a loss of 4 yards on the play. It'll set up a 2nd down and 14. The ball is back on the East 37-yard line. So once again, it's big defensive plays that just seem to come at the wrong time for the East when they're on offense. So Smith Now Gertis is also in there, the twin back set, and they'll hand off to Gertis. Gertis trying to get to the outside, but he's going to be knocked down over there. Grauerholz came across and made some good penetration, and it's a loss of another yard by Gertis as Grauerholz again gets credited with the tackle. It'll set up a 3rd down and 15, so the East is now moving in the wrong direction, but it's all based because of the big defensive end over there in Brandon Grauerholz on that right side of the defense for the West. And the running backs stay the same, Grosdidier and Gertis, and they still show us that split set in the backfield. Jamie Smith, your quarterback. He calls the cadence. Ball on the 36-yard line. This time he wants to drop straight back. Big rush once again. It's a screen pass, and they get it down here to Grosdidier. Grosdidier breaks one tackle. Now down the far sideline. Grosdidier to the 20, to the 10. Knocked out of bounds at the 5. Good job that time by the East squad setting up that screen pass from Jamie Smith to Grosdidier, and it was a tackle made by number 21, John Novotny, down on the 7-yard line, a 39-yard gain. So just at the right time, the East came up with a big play. All right, so the East now has it down on the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. Your quarterback, Smith. Your lone running back is Kai Boss, who's in our unbalanced line to the right, and now they give it to Kai Boss, and he's going to take it down close to the 5, maybe inside the 5. It's a tough 2 yards. I believe that's where they'll put it down, is on the 5-yard line. So it was a pickup of 2, sets up a 2nd down and goal from the 5. So your backfield remains the same here with Smith at the quarterback, and now correction, Grosdidier in there along with Pegenkopf will be your backs now. So again, the 2nd goal at the 5, just a great scoring opportunity here for the East, and they really do need to take advantage of it right now because the West has a 14-0 lead. Grosdidier set out here in the wing back to the near side of the field. Pegenkopf, your lone back. Smith takes a snap, but it might be a locomotion here. Yes, a penalty flag did fly out of there as Pegenkopf just jumped at the last moment, so there is a penalty flag on the play, and that play goes for naught, even though Pegenkopf took it down inside the 5, and it's going to cost the East 5 yards on the illegal motion. Every time the East gets down here close, something goes wrong. Either it's a turnover or it's just a mental mistake, such as that particular thing right there, and costing the opportunity to have the best chance to get into the end zone. Now it's going to be set back on the 10-yard line, and it will be 2nd and goal from there. So the 5-yard penalty really does cost them here. 10 yards to the goal line, and they only have 3 downs to get it in there.
Ball back on the 10-yard line where it is
2nd and goal from the 10, and again, your quarterback Smith, Pegenkopf, and Grosdidier are your backs. This time they'll show the split back set about 4 yards deep. And Smith takes a snap this time with the pitches out, going to Grosdidier around that left side, down to the 7, close to the 5, dives down close to the 5 after being hit out there on the corner. As he does get it close to the 5, the tackles were made there by Micah Sanderson and also Jared Jackson, as they were able to get an arm tackle. But Grosdidier is still able to make a dive there and get it down close to the 5. It sets just about, maybe 6 inches outside the 5-yard line. We'll call it 3rd and goal from the 5. Pegenkopf and Grosdidier still in the backfield. Smith, your quarterback, as they'll set it down there right at the 5-yard line. 3rd down and goal. Back split once again. Smith this time pitches out this time to Grosdidier, going the other direction out here to the wide side. Now he'll get down inside the 5, gets down close to the 3. But a host of red shirts there around him, and Jackson, along with Sanderson, again to make the tackle. They just go to the opposite side. It'll set up a 4th down and goal. But the ball is now resting close to the 3-yard line. So it sets up a 4th down and goal, the ball on the 3. And Pegenkopf and Grosdidier. Smith, the quarterback. And timeout is called by the East. They want to make double sure of this. They have one down here to punch it into the end zone and hopefully get a score on the board, because right now the West leads by 2 touchdowns. Here we go, back to live action. Here we show the back split once again. Smith under center, calls the cadence. This time he's going to pitch out here to Pegenkopf, going around this right side. He does not get in. A great defensive play over there, right on the goal line, as Pegenkopf was knocked out of bounds by number 11, Buddy Probst. And it must have been, here's the replay of it, right ground level. Here he comes right at you. There's Pegenkopf, but look at that. Number 11, Buddy Probst ropes. Just took a great diving shot and knocked him out of bounds. And the West will take over, and the East comes up empty-handed once again. Well, the West takes over deep in their own territory. The ball on about the 1 foot line, 1st and 10. And your quarterback now for the West will be Cunningham, along with Van Holtz and Stuckey in the backfield. They want some power there, maybe to get it out off the goal line. Cunningham this time takes a snap. He'll hand off. No, it's the quarterback keeper. Cunningham just makes a fake, nice fake on that play, and gets 5 yards out of it.
Ball carrier is number 12, Eric Cunningham, brought down.
Cunningham had made a fake there to his first back through, and then with a tough 4.5 yards, got it out to the 5. Jesse Best was the guy who made the stop at the 5-yard line. Sets up a 2nd down and 5 now for the West. So they get just a little bit of breathing room. Not much, though, because you certainly can't make any mistakes down here this deep in your own territory. Stuckey and Anholtz. This time they'll hand off to Stuckey, and Stuckey taking it hard right up the gut. He'll get about 4.5 out of it. He's got the fullback-style tight body, and he can keep the legs turning. Got a lot of muscle on the upper part of the body, and he was tripped up there by Doug Scribner. Number 14, that's a 3rd down, about a half a yard to go for the 1st and 10. And a timeout is called as the West wants to make sure here with a 3rd down and a half a yard. They want to make sure they can get that half a yard negotiated and keep the drive alive, as they own a 14-0 lead. And, you know, by way of the East shooting themselves in the foot several times in the first half, and then a great defensive play here in this 3rd quarter to stop the East on the goal line has thwarted any scoring opportunities that they've had. But the West right now in control with the ball, 14-0 lead and a half a yard to keep the drive alive for 1st and 10. Cunningham, Anholtz, and Stuckey, your backfield. I formation this time. Cunningham calls the cadence, takes a snap, going to hand off to his first man through, and that is Anholtz, and Anholtz running hard. He gets nearly 5, almost 6 yards out of it. As a matter of fact, where they place it down, I believe they will give him 6 yards. He was pulled down there by Travis Schaff, but it's a 1st and 10. Here's your replay, and you see Anholtz running hard and just knocks a few people back as well, and sets up the 1st and 10. So it was well worth the timeout at that point for the West to keep this drive going after that great run by Anholtz. Cunningham now the quarterback. High formation. Now Cunningham makes a fake. Quarterback keeper around this left side, near side, and just a nice run there, getting 5 yards out of that, dodging a couple of tackles, and then he was knocked down by Kai Voss along with Doug Scribner. So Cunningham that time picks up 5 yards. It'll be tacked on to his rushing stats for this ball game. So 2nd down and 5. The ball is out there on the 21-yard line, and now some really extra breathing room for the West squad as Anholtz and Stuckey in there again at the backs. Cunningham sets them up this time, split, and this time he'll hand off to Stuckey around that right side. Stuckey running hard and broke loose out of a couple of tackles. He gets up near the 35-yard line, but maybe we'll count it back close to the 34. An excellent run that time by Stuckey. He got 14 yards out of it. He was brought down by Doug Schaff. Here's a replay. Stuckey, as you see, he broke a couple of tackles right there, and then was able to move forward 5 more yards. But he was brought down by Doug Scribner and also Neil Larson. So the 1st and 10 sets the ball up at the 34-yard line of the West. 1st and 10. Cunningham, Anholtz, and Stuckey back there, I formation. As the West on the move once again. Now Cunningham will pitch it out here to Anholtz, and Anholtz is going to be stopped for a loss on the play. Back there to make the stop was Stephen Benny, and actually tripped on the turf on the cut, but Stephen Benny was right there to make sure that he stayed down. It was a loss of 2 yards on that particular play. 2nd down and 12 as the ball sets back on the 33-yard line, about the 32.5 actually. 2nd down and 12. Now Reza checks into the backfield for the West, along with Stuckey in there. Cunningham, the backs again in the I formation. We see Reza the deep back. And Cunningham this time off the quarterback keeper, and he's going to be stopped right there at the line of scrimmage, maybe getting a half a yard out of it, as it was an option play. It looked like that if he had the option or the seam to go upfield, he was going to do it, or if he had the pitch, he was going to take it back there to Reza. But great defensive play that time by Kai Voss, who drug him down, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 now for the West. So the East sporadically coming up with some excellent defensive plays here throughout this All-Star game. Again, Stuckey now back in there in place of Anholtz, along with Reza. I formation again. Cunningham calls the cadence. And he will drop straight back, wants to pass, as we see the ground level view, and he's going to be drug out of bounds there, as there was just a big rush and a bulldog-type drag down there by number 83, Neil Larson, who come flying in there. Neil Larson from Tescott High School, a 5'10", 165-pound cornerback, and smelled that one all the way, but come in there for the loss of 8 on the quarterback, Cunningham. 4th down and 20. The West will have to punt it away. So we're going to see Reza once again. He'll drop back in punt formation. And we see him step back there, back to field the ball for the East will be number 32, Ken Lloyd. He's standing back at his own 22. There's the snap, and Reza gets the punt away. It's a high, booming punt going down there and taken down there by Lloyd. And Lloyd getting out there to about the 32-yard line. He's brought down there by number 72, Ryan Riley, along with Tom Gorton, number 74. So that time, the defensive plays by the East was able to stop the West and not give them the big play to get into the end zone. So the East will take over once again and have the ball on their own 32-yard line, 1st and 10. Matt Whitmer checked back in as a quarterback. Gertis and Pegenkoff are your running backs. They still show us the wing back, though. And in motion goes Gertis. There's the ground level view. The handoff to the tailback, and he's going to be stopped right there. That was Pegenkoff, the ball carrier, stopped with no gain. Paul Schreiber flying across there and was able to stop Pegenkoff as he got right to the line of scrimmage and no further, just like he ran into a brick wall. So it makes it 2nd down and 10.
2nd and 10 for the
And the ball stays put right there on the 32-yard line. Now Grosdidier back in there along with Pegenkoff as your backs. And Whitmer running the offensive series this time. Backs are split together back there in the backfield as the handoff this time goes to Pegenkoff. And Pegenkoff, flags fly on the play. Pegenkoff did get a couple of yards out of it, but it's going to be a penalty, I believe, against the West. Yes, a face mask penalty, and it's going to cost them 15 yards. So that will be a benefit to the East, and that's going to put the ball clear down on the West 29-yard line. 1st and 10. So the mistake there by the West defense is going to set the East up in some excellent field position. 1st and 10, ball on the West 29. Whitmer, Pegenkoff, and Chris Gertis, your running backs. They show us the twin split back set this time, a little closer together than normal. Here's the ground level view. They're going to hand out there to Gertis, but he stopped with no gain. Hit right there at the line of scrimmage by number 40, Jeff Hartz. He also got some help from number 21, John Novotny. So it'll set up a 2nd down and 10 for the East, as the ball still on the 29-yard line. Might even been just about a foot loss there, but we'll call it a long 10 for the 1st and 10. Whitmer, your quarterback. Pegenkoff and Gertis, your running backs, are split once again. And this time the quarterback, Whitmer, the quarterback keeper, just a spin around move there and gets nearly 5 yards out of it. But we'll call it 4 yards. He's hauled down there by number 61, Jesse Mussman. So we'll set up a 3rd down and 6 now for the East, as the ball is down to the 25.5-yard line. Grosdidier back in there along with Gertis now, as we see Pegenkoff come off the field. And Whitmer, your quarterback. So the East, again, moving the ball and getting a chance to get down here and get a score on the board. Backs are split. Whitmer, your quarterback, takes a snap. This time going to drop straight back to pass. Has he got anybody open? Lets it fly downfield and just overthrows everybody, as the intended receiver was number 44, Tom Farback. But Whitmer let it fly and overthrew him. Sets up the 4th down and 6 from the 25.5-yard line. And the East squad feeling that they need to go for it. We see Pagan-Kopf check back in there into the backfield along with Gertis, who stays in. Grosdidier comes off. Well, Matt Whitmer running the offensive show here all the way during this series. Takes the East All-Stars back to the line of scrimmage, sets them down, now calls the cadence, backs are split once again. And Whitmer looking over the defense, this time off the quarterback option, and just dives right across right guard there, and keeping the ball for about 3 yards, and he's going to be short of the 1st and 10 as he was hit there by Jeff Hartz. And the stop is going to turn the ball over to the West on downs. As again, the West come up with some good defensive play right here on this particular drive, and now we'll take over on their own 22-yard line, 1st and 10. We see a new quarterback in there for the West squad. Justin Rollins is back in there along with Anholtz and Riza in the backfield. But not too bad a field position for the West to take over here. I formation this time. Rollins, and this time he's going to hand off to Anholtz, and Anholtz running hard is going to get a good 4 yards out of it. Gets across the 25, out close to the 26-yard line, so it is a pickup of 4 yards on the play. We'll set up a 2nd down and 6. Well, I'll tell you what, Travis Anholtz, he gets some long legs churning and really pushes hard and gets some good yardage out of that. Anholtz and Riza once again, they'll stay in there. And Rollins. Anholtz, he's 6'4", 210 pounds. The backs are split this time. As Rollins calls the cadence, this time he's going to hand off to Riza, and Riza doesn't get too much out of it. Trying to go off that right side, the short side of the field between the guard and the tackle. And over there to make the stop. Actually, no gain on the play, as the ball still resting on the 26-yard line. But Stephen Benny come in there to make the big stop that time. Stephen Benny out of Pike Valley, 5'9", 245 pounds. And I'll tell you what, it's just like running into a boulder when you run into Stephen Benny. All right, the West arriving at the line of scrimmage. Your backs in the I formation. This time the handoff will go to Riza all around that right side. Misses one tackle there and then gets up across the 30-yard line. But he was throttled there by Doug Scribner for an 8-yard gain. But the flag come flying through there. And looks like that it might be a holding call. Here's your replay on it as we see him dive around. And yes, it was a trap play, but getting caught for a holding over there was one of the guys on the right side of the offensive line for the West squad. So it's going to cost the West, and we'll set it back. We'll make it 3rd down and 16. As the ball now is resting back inside the 15-yard line at about the 14 and a half. We'll call it the 15-yard line. 3rd down and 16 for the West. So there the penalty costing the West that time, because it was an excellent run by Riza on the trap play. But here they are again, the I formation. Rollins taking the count this time, and he's going to drop back to pass. And has a lot of time, lets it fly downfield, and it's caught down there as the reception will be made as Rollins throws to Max Folk out there in the flat and gets enough, I think, for the 1st and 10. We'll see. It was an 18-yard pickup. The ball is out on the 33-yard line. Kai Boss out there to make the stop, but it was an 18-yard pickup, 1st and 10 for the West. No yellow hankies laying around, but that was just a nice job of blocking that time of the West offensive line. And then Rollins just showing the nice fake and stepping up there and making the nice pass out on the flat. 1st and 10 for the West on the ball on the 33-yard line. All right, the quarterback takes a snap. This time hands off to his first back through, and that is going to be Anholtz. Anholtz gets the ball and a couple of yards out of it. He's brought down there by Travis Schaff. Travis Schaft, number 15, will set up a 2nd down and 8 now for the West. We see Max Folk hitting out of the lineup. All right, the West coming to the line of scrimmage here. They've got Dan Scott out here wide to the left side. The backs split. Rollins, the quarterback, calls the cadence. Now pitches out there. It's a reverse, but Dan Scott wants to throw off that and lets it fly downfield, and it's intercepted down there. The intended receiver was Fred Riza, but coming across to make the interception was Jeff Herbig. So now the East comes up with a huge turnover. That time it looked as though that the West was going to have a golden opportunity to come up with another big play there, but Jeff Herbig stepped in there to thwart that. The underthrow by Dan Scott helped Herbig step in there to make the interception. So the East will take over on their own 31-yard line, 1st and 10. And the quarterback now for the East squad, I believe, is going to be Jess Herbig. Yes, it is. And the I formation, Pagan-Koff and Gross-Didier back in there as the running backs. Herbig now will pitch out, gives it to Gross-Didier back there, comes around to the near side. Gross-Didier diving across the 30-yard line, getting out close to the 32, maybe the 33. It'll be a pickup of at least one, as he kind of slipped at the same time he was trying to get around the corner. But it will set up a 2nd down and 9. The ball is placed out at the 32-yard line. So 2nd down and 9 for the East. And Herbig, Pagan-Koff, and Gross-Didier are still in there. Here's the backs again in the I formation. Herbig this time going to hand off a fumble, and the ball on the ground. The West comes up with it. As Pagan-Koff just fumbled it about the same time as Herbig was trying to stick it in the gut. And the recovery was made by Greg Gobbin, the left defensive end for the West, and the West will take over once again on offense with some great field position. The ball is now on the East 34-yard line, and a 1st and 10 for the West, so they've got excellent field position here with Cunningham coming back in to take over the quarterback duties, along with Stuckey and Riza in the backfield. Here's the back split. Cunningham, ground level view, lost the handle on it, but able to pick it back up and fall on it. So he recovers his own fumble there. He loses 3 yards on that play. Sets up now a 2nd down and 13. The ball back on the 37-yard line. So 2nd down and 13. That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play with the West squad on top, 14-0. We take a look at the crowd here and enjoying the afternoon. Now we head into 3rd quarter action. Again, the West, as they switched ends, had the ball, I formation. This time Cunningham makes it fake. The quarterback keeper getting around here to the near side, but he's just drugged to the turf that time by Jesse Best. He got a hold of Cunningham's shirt and just wouldn't let him go and just jerked him down. After about a 2-yard gain, they'll set up a 3rd down and 11 for the West. So here we are in 4th quarter play now, the final quarter here of this 1995 8-man All-Star football game.
30-12 for the West squad.
So here we go. Cunningham, I formation this time, hands off to the second back through. That's Riza. Riza running hard right up the gut, but a host of East players finally bring him down. He was met there first by number 42, John Mowry, and then Jesse Best came in to help bring Riza down. He's a tough little running back, hard to bring down. Gained 7 yards on the play. We'll make it 4th down and 4, and the ball is on the East 28-yard line. So we know that the West, they're going to go for it. And you know it's going to be imperative that the East come up with a big defensive play here. They are running out of time in this ball game, and down by the 2-touchdown and 2 extra point conversion lead by the West, 14-0. Here's the ground level view, and there's an offensive lineman jumping there as number 74 jumping off the line and makes contact. And so it's an illegal procedure against the West. It's going to cost them 5 yards, and we'll set up a 4th down and 9. So there the East is helped by that mistake by the West, and looks like that it's going to set up a punting situation for the West. So it'll put Fred Riza back there to punt the ball away. And back deep to receive for the East is going to be Ken Lloyd, as Riza steps back deep. And there's a snap, and Riza gets the high end over end boot away and downfield, and well, it's going to be down right there, right about the 6-yard line. Juan Munoz at the 6-yard line for the West, down the ball as the East didn't even get to touch it. and certainly wouldn't have wanted to there and have some drastic thing happen, such as a turnover at that point on the field. But the East will take over, 1st and 10, ball on their own 6-yard line. We see Jamie Smith now back in there as the quarterback. Gross Didier and Pagenkopf are your running backs. And here in fourth quarter action, again, the West in command here, 14-0. I formation as Smith sets them down. Calling the cadence, barking them out, and this time going to hand to his first back through there, and that's Gross Didier, and Gross Didier running hard right up the gut, right behind his center, and he's going to get 7 yards out of it. He was stopped there by Buddy Probst and Jared Jackson as they come up with the tackle that time. But it will set up a 2nd down and 3 for the East. The ball out there on the 13-yard line, so they do get a little extra breathing room now. Gertis has checked in there for Gross Didier into the backfield. They show us again the I formation. Really, the East has had better offensive movement out of that I formation. Now Smith, he hands off to his first back through again, getting across the 15-yard line, and is going to get 5 yards out of it. Just a straight handoff there, running right up the middle, and they got the 1st and 10. The ball is out to the 18-yard line, so good hard running right up the gut. They really have been getting some excellent blocking from that offensive line, from the center, the 2 guards, and when they pinch in from the tackles, it has made a better situation running right up the gut. The tackle that time was made by Jackson and Probst. But nevertheless, the East has a 1st and 10, ball on the 18-yard line. Gertis and Pagenkopf still in there, and again they show us that I formation. And Smith going to drop back, wants to pass, and Smith is going to be drugged down for a loss. Is it going to be a safety? We have not got the indication yet from the referee, but let's see where his forward motion was stopped. I believe it's going to be out near the 5-yard line. Is that right? Yes. As he was stopped right there, that's where they'll set it up. So it was a big loss off the pressure set up by Ted Grubb and along with Bryce Boyle. So Boyle thought that he had Smith in the end zone, but they did not count it. His forward progress was stopped out there at the 5-yard line. A loss of 13 sets up a 2nd down and 23. This will call a mile here for the East squad. Smith, again with a back split this time, as he drops back and wants to pass and lets it fly out there. It's caught right inside the 5-yard line, but there getting away is Gertis, and Gertis gets out beyond the 5-yard line. Out there to make the stop, though, was Ted Grubb, as he knocks him down around the 13-yard line. And so it was a gain of 8 after Gertis takes the reception from Smith, and it makes it 3rd down and 15 now from the East 13-yard line. Gertis and Pagenkopf still in there. Smith still your quarterback. The East will have to come up with a big play here to get the 1st and 10, and most likely it will be a passing play. And again, they show us a split back there for extra protection for Smith. As he calls the cadence this time, makes a fake, drops straight back with big pressure that time, and Smith is going to be drugged down for a big loss on the play, as it was big Bryce Boyle who got in there to drag Smith down, and a 7-yard loss as the ball will be put on the 6-yard line. But Bryce Boyle, the 6-foot, 250-pounder, the defensive tackle from Caldwell High School, and showing his speed off that defensive line, really puts the East in a hole. And of course it is 4th down, and the ball on the 6. He'll have to punt it away, and Travis Shaft is the guy back there in his own. The high snap has Shaft done. It's blocked. The punt is blocked, and it's going to be a safety. Number 41, Ted Grubb, making the big rush that time and got in there and blocked the punt. And of course that will be a safety for the West squad. Boy, Ted Grubb came flying through the air there to block that punt. And the West defense getting 2 more points off of some excellent defensive play here all afternoon. And now the West goes up 16-0. And so the West offers some big plays in the first half and taking advantage of some of the East miscues here in the second half. The West squad now with a comfortable lead at 16-0 and really has the East in a big hole. And of course on the safety, the East will have to kick back to the West, and Travis Shaft is there to off from the 25-yard line. And back deep for the West is Max Folk. As we watch Travis Schaft, he'll get the indication here from the referee and approaches the football. And it's a line drive in over in boot, but there Max Folk picks it up. About the 18 off that left side, breaks the tackle out there, gets to the outside. He's going to be knocked out of bounds near the 34-yard line. He's pulled down out there by number 42, John Mowry, along with number 7, John Novotny. So it will be a 1st and 10 for the West. The ball on their own 34-yard line. That's where the referee places it down. As we're about midway through, or a little bit past here in this 4th and final quarter of this 1995 All-Star game. Justin Rollins back at your quarterback, Stuckey and Anholtz in the backfield. They show us the I formation. And this time Rollins will hand off to his second back through. That was Stuckey, and Stuckey crashes hard off that left side. Gets about 2 yards out there, but Stephen Benny, again your nose guard for the East squad, gets over there to jerk him down for just a short 2-yard gain. So now sets up a 2nd down and 8 for the West. The ball out there on the 36. And again, Rollins and Stuckey and Anholtz in the backfield. As the West feeling pretty comfortable right now. Rollins calls the cadence. This time going to hand off to Stuckey once again, and running hard off that left side behind his center and the left guard. And Stuckey gets 4 tough yards out of it. Over there on that left side, the short side of the field. He stopped there by Jesse Best, along with number 35, Josh Ward. So Stuckey with the strong legs kept him turning and got the extra yardage out of it. Set up 3rd down and 4. And the ball there just outside the 40-yard line, or actually in the East Territory. So Rollins and Stuckey and Anholtz in your backfield, split this time. As Rollins calls the cadence, and now hands off, but coming flying through there is Doug Scribner, and just with a shoelace tackle knocks down Anholtz, and there's no gain on the play. Matter of fact, maybe a loss of a half yard right back on top of the 40-yard line. It'll set up a 4th and 4, and the West will have to punt it away. So Fred Reza will step back, somewhere around his 26-yard line and 25, and that's where he'll have to punt it away. The guy back deep for the East is number 32, Ken Lloyd. All right, there's the snap. Reza gets the punt away. And Ken Lloyd down there taking on about his 5-yard line, back up to the 10, now to the 15. He's going to be hauled down there as Ken Lloyd getting a return of 10 yards off of that punt by Reza. He's tackled by Ryan Riley, number 72. So the East squad will have the ball on their own 15-yard line, 1st and 10. And we see the quarterback, Matt Whitmer, will check back in there for the East, along with Gertis and Pagenkopf. Those are your running backs. And again, time certainly running out here on the East and the West with a comfortable 16-0 lead. The I formation again for the East squad. That's where they've had the most success. All right, Whitmer takes the snap. This time makes a fake, rolls out there to the right side. Shovel pass up there to Gertis. Gertis had it just momentarily, but then lost it. He was hit hard right there on the out-of-bounds line by number 40, Jeff Hartz. And so it goes incomplete. We'll set up a 2nd down and 10. They'll bring the ball back to the 15-yard line and set it up over there on the far side hash mark. And again, sets up a 2nd down and 10 for the East. And Ken Lloyd enters into the lineup now for the East. Travis Schaft, he's out of there. Your quarterback again is Whitmer, Gertis, and Lloyd now is your running back in there. Backs are split this time. As Whitmer calls the cadence this time with a fake, and now hands off to that right halfback, and Gertis gets a pickup of about 2 yards up that right side, as it was somewhat of a misdirection type of play, and pick up the 2 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. Jeff Hartz, the man in on the tackle again for the West squad. The ball out on the 17-yard line will make it 3rd down and 8 for the East. As back in there now is Pagenkopf and Gertis in the backfield, back split. And Whitmer, the quarterback, sets the offense down there on the 17 this time. Whitmer on the quarterback keeper. Broke away out of one tackle and got up beyond the 20 at about the 22 does get about 5 yards out of that, but it's not going to be enough for the 1st and 10 as Whitmer off the quarterback keeper, option-style play, as he was stopped out there by Paul Schreiber, number 44. So it sets up a 4th down and 3. And right, ball setting on the 22-yard line. Pretty obvious punting situation here. Coach Freeze decided not to take any unnecessary chances. So Travis Schaff back there to punt it away. We see Max Folk up around the 20-yard line there. The low snap, the little end-over-end punt back there to take it is going to be Max Folk, and Max Folk on the 20 will return it back up off that far side, gets it back up across the 30, out close to the 35-yard line. So that's where the West will take over, and Matt Whitmer was the guy who made the stop that time, the quarterback for the East squad. So it is a 1st and 10 for the West. The ball is on the 36-yard line. We'll take a look at the East squad. Pretty disappointed at what's happened here this afternoon. Really felt like that they should have been able to put some points on the board, but have not done so yet at this point. Take a look at the crowd here enjoying the ball game, but right now standing up, taking a little stretch. So Cunningham will be your quarterback, and Holt Stuckey in the backfield, who wants the West to approach the ball. And Cunningham sets up under center there, ground level view we get a look at. And Cunningham this time, and Cunningham off the keeper off this near side, and Cunningham running hard will get it out beyond the 36-yard line. Got about 3 yards out of it. He's pulled out there by Kai Boss, and will make up 2nd down and 7 for the West, as the ball is out at the, or down to the 33-yard line. It's on the east side of the field. The 33-yard line is where the West has it. I formation, Cunningham and Holt Stuckey in the backfield. Cunningham this time, and he pitches out there to Stuckey, and Stuckey gets around that far side for about 2 yards. He's hauled out there by Josh Ward, number 35, along with number 5, Jesse Best. So it'll set up a 3rd down and 5 for the West. And they've got a couple more downs here to negotiate that 5 yards. 31-yard line is where they put the ball down. Stuckey and Ann will stay in there in the backfield. Cunningham still your quarterback. And so the West just trying to run some time off the clock now. They're not going to do anything unnecessary as far as putting the ball in the air. This I formation, a handoff to the second back through, and that was Stuckey who got the ball for just a short gain, maybe a yard. Some excellent defensive play up there up front by the East squad. And again, it was Doug Scribner, and then number 12, Matt Whitmer, who's also been the quarterback some of the snaps this afternoon for the East.
4th down and 4 from the 30-yard line.
So a 4th down and 4 here for the West. Ball on the 30-yard line, and again Cunningham and Ann Holtz and Jay Stuckey in the backfield. As they arrive at the line of scrimmage, they show us the I formation this time. Cunningham calls the cadence, and this time makes a fake, but he's going to be driven back there, or a loss on the play as Cunningham trying to get away from the onrush of Doug Scribner, but Scribner took him for a big loss way back at actually at midfield, or right about the 39-yard line is where they took him out. So the East will take over on downs.
39-yard line will be 1st and 10.
And the East with a 1st and 10. On the 38-yard line is where they put it down. Strathman is now your quarterback, along with Gertis and Pagenkopf, who are in the lineup. Gertis in motion, coming right at you. All right, there's the handoff to Pagenkopf on that right side, and Pagenkopf dashes across midfield, but he's hauled down there by Mussman and also Max Folk. But he picks up 3 yards right off the right tackle, getting it down inside West territory at the 38-yard line. So that will set up a 2nd down and 7 from the West 38. Strathman, along with Gertis and Pagenkopf, stay in the lineup. And this time they show us the split back set. And most of the time when you see this type of setup for the East, it's been a passing situation. We'll see what happens here. Here comes Gertis in motion once again, coming at you to the far side of the field. Strathman this time drops straight back, lets it fly downfield, and Gertis Strathman. Strathman comes over to check out to make sure that he got the right signal from the coach of what they want to run down here for the two-point conversion. The ball is on the 3-yard line. And so Gertis and Pagenkopf, again in that backfield. Strathman has a couple of words for him. They show the split back set. And Strathman this time, calling the cadence, will take the snap. Almost lost the handle. Pitches out there to Gertis, going around that right side. Gertis, does he get in? And no, he doesn't. He's knocked out of bounds right about the goal line as number 21, John Novotny, comes flying across here from his defensive position to knock Gertis out of bounds before he's able to get across the goal line and thwarts the two-point conversion attempt. So now the score here late in the ball game in this fourth and final quarter of this 1995 All-Star game is the West 16 and the East erase their goose egg. They have 6 on the board now. Well, the East is setting up to kick off here and might be setting up to get an onside kick off. The time certainly is critical for them as there's just about 4 minutes left here in the ball game. And teaming it up there is number 15, Travis Schaff. And Micah Sanderson back there is, here's the onside kick, and it's going to be recovered by the West squad as it was Micah Sanderson who came up with the onside recovery. Now, there's no chance for the East to get it, and with the gamble, it didn't work for them, and the West comes up with the ball and has great field position to boot with it. So now the West will be on their own 37-yard line, 1st and 10, and Rollins will be your quarterback, and again, Anholtz and Riza, and they've certainly been the two big workhorses this afternoon, along with Stuckey. Anholtz, your 6'4", 210-pounder. So here they are, set up in the I formation now, as Rollins counts a cadence. And this time he'll take the handoff and give the ball to the first back through, and that was Anholtz, and he'll maybe get 2 yards out of it. He's pulled down over there by Jesse Best along with Joshua Ward. So just a 2-yard gain on that particular play off that left side around on the other side of the left guard. So it sets up a 2nd down and 8. The ball is now on the 39-yard line right there near midfield. They'll keep the running backs the same. And again, they show us the I formation as Rollins sets the offensive line down. And this time he's going to hand off to his second back through, and that is Riza. Riza this time picking his way up through the middle there, and Riza with some extra effort got 5 yards out of that. He was hit by Kai Boss along with Joshua Ward and Joe Rottinghouse. So those 3 guys involved in the stop on Riza. But yet Riza picked up 5 yards. It sets up a 3rd down and 3 as the ball is on the East 34-yard line. So the West with their opening good field position is taking it now into East territory. And again, the clock just continues to run down here. They want East entire. The handoff goes to Riza again, and he breaks one tackle, gets to the outside, but then finally is jerked down out there by number 31, Joe Rottinghouse. And Riza for a 1-yard gain, and really good defensive reaction that time. Good pursuit out there on the far side of the field. So it does set up a 4th down and 3. And again, they're still in East territory. The ball back on the 35-yard line now, but a 4th down and 3. So there's a need for a big defensive play right here. There's just about 2 minutes left in the ball game. 16-6, the West on top. Your quarterback, Rollins. The back's in the I formation. Stuckey is in there now. Now they'll hand off to Anholtz, and Anholtz maybe got a yard out of it. So the East did come up with a big defensive play and made the stop. And so they will take over on downs. Neil Larson met Anholtz right there, head on, right about the hole. And Anholtz with his big frame leaned forward and got about a half a yard out of it. So they'll turn it over, and the East will take over on downs on their own 34-yard line, 1st and 10. And Kevin Strathman will step into the lineup. He's the guy that hit Gertis for the touchdown earlier here in the 4th quarter. So now Strathman brings him to the line of scrimmage as Gertis and Pagenkopf your backs. Gertis this time comes in motion. Looks like the same exact play before they scored on. Strathman this time drops straight back, and he does. Lets it fly downfield. The intended receiver is Gertis, but it's intercepted. Intercepted down there by Ryan Warden as he steps right in front of Gertis to take the ball away from him. And so now the West will take over, and again, time is really running short here, but the West takes over, and and will have the 1st and 10 back deep in their territory on their own 18-yard line. And they may just be content to let the clock run out here. Cunningham goes back in there as your quarterback along with Stuckey and Riza. And again, the time certainly is the factor there. They start the clock again, and so they'll just take as much time as they possibly can now to let that clock run out. Cunningham with his backs in the I formation. Calls the cadence this time, takes a snap off the quarterback keeper, tries to get around that far side over there, but doesn't get much out of it at all. Matter of fact, he's pulled down there by Kai Boss along with Jesse Best, but leaning forward, he got about 2 yards out of it, brings up a 2nd down and 8. And with the clock down inside 1 minute now, we may have time for just one more play. As again, as we mentioned before, that the West this afternoon took advantage of some big plays, and then also came up with some big defensive plays on their own to stop for the East. Here's the handoff, goes to the first back through. Stuckey is the ball carrier, and he gets about 5, maybe 6 yards out of it. Get hard running right up the middle. Matt Whitmer along with Doug Scribner, they're on the stop for the East All-Stars. And that's the game as the clock runs out on the 4th and final quarter of this 1995 All-Star game, as the West All-Stars come up with a 16-6 victory in this first East-West rivalry. Now let's look at the stats. The East, their leads in first downs 9-8 over the West, but it was the West in rushing yards 259-174 for the East. In passing yards, it was the East with 73, the West with 45. The East come up with 3 completions off of 9 attempts, 1 interception. The West not throwing a lot today, 2 completions off of 4 attempts and 2 interceptions. Penalties, the West had more. They had 4 penalties for 35 yards. The East with only 2 for 10 yards. And for the fumbles, the East had 3. They lost 2. The West on the other side of it had 4 fumbles, lost 2 there. But in total yards, really pretty close throughout the overall look at the offense, as the West had a total of 304 yards, and the East coming up with 247. But again, it was the big plays for the West that helped them in winning the ball game 16-6. The scoring in this game came in the 2nd and 4th quarters. In the 2nd quarter, the West struck twice with 2 long touchdown runs and a 2-point conversion after the 2nd touchdown to make the score 14-0 at halftime. Then just a few minutes into the 4th quarter, the East blocked a West punt attempt out of the end zone, which resulted in a safety, and that made the score 16-0 early in the 4th quarter. Midway through the 4th quarter, the East held the West on a 4th down and 3 and got the ball in good field position near midfield. And then after one running play, it was a 38-yard pass from Kevin Strassman to Chris Gertis, who got the East 6 points, but the 2-point conversion attempt failed. The East had one more opportunity late in the 4th quarter, but that ended with an intercepted pass. All in all, it was a hard-played game by both squads as we look down on the field and see the crowd gathered around these young men. And I'm sure that each and every one of them is proud to have been chosen as a member of their respective All-Star team. Before we close, I'd like to take this opportunity to once again thank the Kansas 8-Man Football Association, the Beloit Rotary Club, the Beloit Knights of Columbus, and all the other people too numerous to mention for helping to stage this outstanding event. Everyone involved in this program deserves a pat on the back for their efforts. And so, dedicated to the memory of Brian Ludwig, this game goes into the record books with a score: the West All-Stars 16, the East All-Stars